बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरधरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरधरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरावनचारी यमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी So today we are reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 25, and the texts are text 38 to 41. Now, just let me make something interesting is that all these texts quoted here in this shlokas are basically texts from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and also the 41 is basically again some of the texts from Adi Lila. So we'll be mostly reading the purport for all this, and given that each and every purport is quite long, most of our time will go there, and then we can have a short discussion or whatever if there's any question or anything. So let me Okay, so text 38, Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki. Okay, so we read each text and we also read the corresponding verses and purport from Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, so text 38. Tadva idam bhuvana mangala mangalaya dhyane smana darshitam ta upasakanam tasmai namo bhagavate nu vidhema tobhyam yanadrito narka bhagir asat prasangatahi. Word by word meaning. So this is text 38, Bhagavatam 3.9.4. 3.9.4. Okay, so we read from Bhagavatam directly this one. Tat, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, Va or Idam, this present form, Bhuvana Mangala, O you who are all auspicious for all the universe, Mangalaya, for the sake of all prosperity. Dhyane, in meditation, Isma, as it were, Darsita manifested, Upasakanam of the devotees, Tasmai, unto him, Namaha. I will read translation and the purport, yeah? It's too big. Translation 3.9.4. This present form or any transcendental form expanded by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is equally auspicious for all the universes. Since you have manifested this eternal personal form upon whom your devotee meditate, I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Those who are destined to be dispatched to the path of hell neglect your personal form because of speculation on material topics. Purport. And this is regarding, the whole discussion is regarding the Mayavad philosophy and the Vaishnava philosophy. Because if you have noticed this chapter 25, it's the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he is traveling to Varanasi, and there where he meet all the Mayavad sannyasis. And in that context, all these verses are coming. So just a background. So, purport. Regarding the personal and impersonal features of the Supreme Absolute Truth, the personal forms exhibited by the Lord in his different plenary expansions are all for the benediction of all the universes. The personal form of the Lord is also worshipped in meditation as Supersoul, Paramatma. But the impersonal Brahma Jyoti is not worshipped. Persons who are addicted to the impersonal feature of the Lord, whether in meditation or otherwise, are all pilgrims to hell because, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, impersonalists simply waste their time in mundane mental speculation because they are addicted more to false arguments than to the reality. Therefore, the association of the impersonalist is condemned herewith by Brahma. All the plenary expansions of the personality of Godhead are equally potent as confirmed in Brahma Samhita. The Lord expands himself as the flames of a fire expand one after another. Although the original flame of Sri Krishna is accepted as Govinda, the Supreme Person, all other expansions such as Ram, Narsimha, and Varaha are as potent as the original Lord. All such expanded forms are transcendental. In the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, it is made clear that the Supreme Truth is eternally uncontaminated by material touch. There is no jugglery of words and activities in the transcendental kingdom of the Lord. All the Lord's forms are transcendental, and such manifestations are ever identical. The particular form of the Lord exhibited to a devotee is not mundane. Even though the devotee may retain material desire, nor is it manifest under the influence of material energy, as is foolishly considered by the impersonalist. Impersonalists who consider the transcendental form of the Lord to be products of the material world are surely destined to hell. So that's the text 38. Text 39. And text 39 is basically the Bhagavad Gita 9.11. So I directly read from Bhagavad Gita 9.11. Yeah? Yeah. And this is very important text. Avajanti ma mudha manusi tanuma sritama param bhava majanto mam bhuteha maheshwaram. Translation: fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the Supreme Lord of all that be. This is one of the very important shloka where Prabhupada has many comments and many lectures. So please hear attentively. Purport. From the other explanation of the previous verse in this chapter, it is clear that the supreme personality of Godhead, although appearing like a human being, is not a common man. The personality of Godhead, who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the complete cosmic manifestation, cannot be a human being. Yet, there are many foolish men who consider Krishna to be merely a powerful man and nothing more. Actually, he is the original Supreme Personality as is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Ishwar Parama Krishna, he is the Supreme Lord. There are many Ishwaras, controllers, and one appears greater than other. In the ordinary management of affairs in this world, we find some officials or director, and above him there is a secretary, and above him a minister, and above him a president. Each of them is a controller, but one is controlled by another. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that Krishna is the supreme controller. There are many controllers undoubtedly, both in the material and spiritual world. But Krishna is the supreme controller, Ishwar Parama Krishna. And his body is Satchidanand, non-material. Material bodies cannot perform the wonderful acts described in previous verses. His body is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Although he is not a common man, the foolish deride him and consider him to be a man. His body is called here Manusim because he is acting just like a man, a friend of Arjuna's, a politician involved in the battle of Kurukshetra. In so many ways, he is acting just like an ordinary man. But actually, his body is Satchidanand Vigraha, eternal bliss, and knowledge absolute. This is confirmed in the Vedic language also. Satchidananda Rupaya Krishnaya. I offer my obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the eternal blissful form of knowledge, Gopal Tapani Upanishad. There are other descriptions in the Vedic languages also. Tam ekam Govindam. You are Govinda, the pleasure of the senses, and the cows, Satchidananda Vigraham. And your form is transcendental, full of knowledge, bliss, and eternality. Despite the transcendental qualities of Lord Krishna's body, its full bliss and knowledge, there are so many scholars and commentators of Bhagavad Gita who deride Krishna as an ordinary man. The scholars may be born an extraordinary man due to his previous good work, but this conception of Krishna is due to a poor fund of knowledge. Therefore, he is called Mudha. For only foolish person considered Krishna to be an ordinary human being. The foolish consider Krishna as an ordinary human being because they do not know the confidential activity of the Supreme Lord and his different energies. They do not know that Krishna's body is a symbol of complete knowledge and bliss, that he is the proprietor of everything that be, and that he can award liberation to anyone. Because they do not know that Krishna has so many transcendental qualifications, they deride him. Nor do they know that the appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in this material world is a manifestation of his internal energy. He is the master of material energy, as has been explained in several places. Mama Maya Duratayaya. He claims that the material energy, although very powerful, is under his control. And whoever surrenders unto him can get out of the control of this material energy. If a soul surrendered to Krishna can get out of the influence of material energy, then how can the Supreme Lord who conducts the creation, maintenance, and annihilation of the whole cosmic nature have a material body like us? So this conception of Krishna is complete foolishness. Foolish persons, however, cannot conceive that the personality of Godhead Krishna appears just like an ordinary man, can be controller of all the atoms and of the gigantic manifestations of the universal form. The biggest and the minutest are beyond their conception. So they cannot imagine that a form like that of a human being can simultaneously control the infinite and the minute. Actually, although he is controlling the infinite and the finite, he is apart from all this manifestation. It is clearly stated concerning his yogam aishwaryam, his inconceivable transcendental energy, that he can control the infinite and finite simultaneously, and that he can remain aloof from them. Although the foolish cannot imagine how Krishna, who appears just like a human being, can control the infinite and the finite. Those who are pure devotees accept this, for they know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, they completely surrendered unto him and engage in Krishna consciousness, devotional service of the Lord. There are many controversies between the impersonalist and the personalist about the Lord's appearance as a human being. But if we consult Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, the authoritative texts for understanding the science of Krishna, then we can understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is not an ordinary man. Although he appeared on this earth as an ordinary human, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, when the sages headed by Shunaka inquired about the activity of Krishna, they said, Kartavan kila karmani saharamena keshavaha ati martyani bhagavana gudha kapata manushaha. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, along with Balaram, played like a human being. And so he performed many superhuman acts. The Lord's appearance as a human bewildered the foolish. No human being could perform the wonderful act that Krishna performed while he was present on this earth. When Krishna appeared before his father and mother Vasudeva and Devaki, he appeared with 4 hands. But after the prayers of the parents, he transformed himself into an ordinary child. As stated in Bhagavatam, Bhavoha Prakritya Shishuha. He became just like an ordinary child. An ordinary human being. Now here against it is indicated that the Lord's appearance as an ordinary human being is one of the features of his transcendental body. In the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, also it is stated that Arjuna prayed to see Krishna's form of 4 hands. After revealing this form, Krishna, when petitioned by Arjuna, again assumed his original human-like form, Manusamrupam. These different features of the Supreme Lord are certainly not those of an ordinary human being. Some of those who deride Krishna and who are infected with Mayavadi philosophy quote the following verses from the Srimad Bhagavatam to prove that Krishna is just an ordinary man. Aham sarveshu bhuteshu bhutatma vasistaha sada. The Supreme is present in every living entity. We should better take note of this particular verse from the Vaishnava Acharya like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, instead of following the interpretation of unauthorized person who deride Krishna. Jiva Goswami, commenting on this verse, says that Krishna is the plenary expansion as Paramatma, is situated in the moving and the non-moving entities as the super soul. So any neophyte devotee who simply gives his attention to the Archa Murti, the form of Supreme Lord in the temple, and does not respect other living entities, is uselessly worshipping the form of the Lord in the temple. There are three kinds of devotees of the Lord, and the neophyte is in the lowest stage. The neophyte devotee gives more attention to the deity in the temple than the other devotee. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur warns that this sort of mentality should be corrected. A devotee should see that because Krishna is present in everyone's heart as Paramatma, everybody is the embodiment or the temple of the Supreme Lord. So as one offers respect to temple of the Lord, he should similarly properly respect each and every body in which the Paramatma dwells. Everyone should therefore be given proper respect and should not be neglected. There are also many impersonalists who deride temple worship. They say that since God is everywhere, why should one restrict himself to temple worship? But if God is everywhere, is he not in the temple or in the deity? Although the personalist and the impersonalist will fight with one another perpetually, a perfect devotee in Krishna consciousness knows that although Krishna is the Supreme Personality, he is all-pervading as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Although his personal abode is Goloka Vrindavan, and he is always staying there, by his different manifestation of energy and by his plenary expansion, he is present everywhere in all parts of the material and spiritual creation. So this is 9.11 from Bhagavad Gita. And even the text 40 is 16.19 from Bhagavad Gita. I'm not going reading the whole thing again, so that we can have a bit of discussion. So, I mean, it's quite a long purport, and if you notice, it covers a very wide variety of subject. But at the center of this particular verse, okay, what lies is that understanding of the Mayavati about the God, their understanding about Bhagwan, and the Bhagwan's feature and his activity. Now, you must have heard Prabhupada using these words very frequently. Foolish and rascals. If you hear Prabhupada's lecture on this particular verse, which I just read, the 9.11 from Bhagavad Gita, it's a very, 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 very intense lecture and intense criticism of the Mayavadi philosophers. While Prabhupada can use those words, okay, as a very, very lower level devotee, we abstain from using those words. But sometimes we need to understand why Prabhupada using those words. So there are a couple of things, right? He uses the word foolish, okay, and sometimes he said, oh, these are rascals, okay. Now, do anybody understand the meaning difference between these two words? Any idea, any guess? So, foolish in Sanskrit, it's called murkha, right? Foolish means one who does not understand anything or does not have no understanding of the subject, okay? Who is a kind of, he doesn't understand, simply doesn't get it. And the rascals, the word is basically, the difference is that he understands it, but he doesn't want to accept it. So that's why Prabhupada uses these words quite frequently. There is a very nice story told by one of the devotees that once upon a time, there was a king, yeah, a very big king, okay, and the king was boasting about himself, okay, that look, in my 10th generation, I am the most powerful king, okay, I have won all the kingdom nearby my kingdom, okay, I have acquired all those kingdoms by defeating them. Those who were stronger than me, okay, I married the girls from those kings and again included into my kingdom, okay. And then he's very smart, right? He wanted to become great king, okay. My kingdom is 10 times bigger than what I receive. I have such a nice palaces, you know, such a nice things. I have so many children. I have so much wealth. Okay, I have so many queens. Okay, he was boasting at that point of time, but he was religious little bit. Okay, but of course, when power comes into your hand, it goes into mind. So people start boasting. But at the same time, when he was talking like this to his ministers and as well as his subjects, at that point of time, one sadhu was passing by. So by seeing the sadhu, this king, he basically paid obeisances to him and said, okay, since you have come, just tell us something, okay. So then the sadhu took his position and he started talking. And normally whenever there is a lecture, the very best thing happens that most of us are whining or sleeping, right? So when the sadhu started giving lecture, this king was not so much attentive, okay? And then the sadhu told this king that you do one thing, okay? I mean, the sadhu was not very happy. So as part of he understood, and then he said, okay, now since you are disrespecting, you need to do following things, okay? Because the sadhu wanted to teach him a lesson, okay? So he told him that go and find out the most foolish person, most murkha in your kingdom, okay? And give him a stick, and that person should just go and just do like this with the sticks in the whole kingdom. Okay, this is your task, because you offended me, you have to do this, okay? And out of respect, this king, he sent his subjects that go and find out the most murkha, most foolish person in my kingdom. So they were going around, where is the foolish person, where is the foolish person, and you cannot just catch somebody and say that this is the foolish person, right? You need to look at the activity of the foolish. So then they saw that there is a tree and one person is sitting on a branch, okay, and he is cutting the same branch, okay, on which he is sitting. Okay, then they realized, okay, this must be the murkha person. This must be the most foolish person. So then what happened, that they said, hey, you are foolish. Okay, come down. So he said, no, I'm not foolish. You are foolish. Okay, you all are foolish. And these guys, they had a work to do, right? They have to find the foolish person. So they have been waiting there for a long, long time. After this guy cut the branch and then fell down, and then they catch him that, look, you are the most foolish person, okay? We need to take you to the king. Now, so they caught him and they took it to the king, and he told king that he is the most foolish person. Then this foolish person is arguing, no, I am not foolish, you are foolish. Okay. So, but anyway, this conversation happened. King, he found the foolish person. So he gave him the stick that go and run this stick all over the kingdom. Well, thinking, why should I run? What I get in return of that? Well, don't worry. Okay, you will get salary for that. Okay, that foolish person was happy. So he was running around, and the time passed. The king became very old. Okay, and over a period, he realized that he have to die at some point of time. Yeah, and then he started meeting everybody. Okay, and then he remembered that I recruited one foolish person. Okay, many years back. I should meet him. Okay, so then he called his people that go and bring that guy. So they started searching for him, and then they brought him. Okay, so that foolish person, and then brought him in front of the king, and then the king started discussing with him that, hey, I need to go somewhere. Okay, so that foolish person said, oh, I will also come with you. I will also come with you. Okay, so he said, no, you cannot come with me there. Okay, but then you will be going along with all your wealth to that place. So that king said, no, I cannot take any of my wealth to that place. Yeah. Then the foolish person, he said that, oh, then you must be going to that particular place along with your queens. Okay. He said, no, I cannot go there with my queens as well, because I cannot take my queen also. Then must be you will be going along with your children's, yeah, that place. So that king said, no, I cannot even go with my children as well. Okay. Then he said, yeah, you cannot go with the children? Oh, now I know, you are very much attached to your horses and elephants, so you will be taking all your horses and elephants to that place. So he said, no, I cannot take even that also. So then this person, the murkha person, is telling him, the foolish person to the king, that what kind of foolish man you are. You acquired all these things all your life. You fought so many battles all your life to acquire this kingdom. You married so many queens to increase your kingdom. You worked so hard to acquire all this horse, and you are the Mahamurk, the most foolish person in this world. So see, this person searched for the most foolish person, and that most foolish person is telling that you are the Mahamurk. Okay, and then he realized, okay, that, yeah, I mean, he is right. I am the Mahamurk. So the moral of the story is that when Prabhupada tells, uses those words for the Mayavadis, okay, he is trying to show in that direction that what is the truth, what is God, what is not God, and why we are working or engaged into this fruitive activity in this world, okay, unnecessarily. Yeah, and the whole background of this particular chapter, as I was telling earlier, that this is basically the discussion with the Mayavadis in Varanasi, which Prakashanand Saraswati, the Mayavadi sannyasi with whom Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had the discussion. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu managed to convince them with his activity, with his humility, okay, and all of them became become Krishna consciousness. But this Mayavad still exists in this world. Okay, and whatever argument you give them, okay, they are not ready to accept. And that's why Prabhupada used this word rascal. As I said, foolish, he doesn't understand the things. The rascals are those who understand the things, but still don't accept the truth. Yeah, that is that is the big correlation between this, okay? And it's not today. It was happening even during Krishna's time, okay? Duryodhana knew this is Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he was not ready to accept. Shakuni knew he is Supreme Personality of Godhead. They were not murkha, they were intelligent people. But they were the other category. Prabhupada has the copyright to use those words, I don't have. Yeah? So, whenever we are coming in contact with this people, okay, who are giving many arguments in order to, in fact, Prabhupada said that Mayavadi, they have killed Krishna, okay, because they don't accept the feature of the Lord. They don't accept that the Lord take the material body. He performs many activity. Okay, I mean, and then they start arguing also, like in this 9.11 when we were reading that God is everywhere, right? Even in the spiritual terms, even a stone, okay, has the potency of the Lord. And one of the best example of this, that when Hiranyakashipu, right? When Hiranyakashipu was torturing Prahlad, right? Prahlad Maharaj. And Prahlad Maharaj was telling him that God is everywhere, right? And then Hiranyakashipu said, God is everywhere? He said, everywhere. Is God in this pillar? He said, yes, it is in this pillar. And when he basically breaks the pillar, okay, Lord Narasimha, God comes in the form of Lord Narasimha, okay? And he presents himself. And the end of Mayavadis is basically the same what happened to Hiranyakashipu, because they will be obliterated, okay? So, in order to summarize this particular, I mean, as I said, this 3-4 verses are some Bhagavatam, some Bhagavad Gita shloka, but in summary, we can say that the Mayavadi conception of the Lord, that we all basically merge into the Brahma Jyoti, and there is no form of God, there is no characteristics of a God, okay, everything basically ends there, is a great mistake on their part. And because just that they cannot think beyond that particular, it doesn't mean that God is not there. Okay, it's similar like if I have not seen America, then America does not exist. Okay, and this is how the Mayavadi philosophy is being propagated. Sometimes it is very much what we called attractive to some people. Okay, because it gives them liberty to do. Jai Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maharani ki Jai. Because the Mayavadi philosophy gives people the liberty, okay, to do whatever they can speculate, yeah. But when it comes to Krishna consciousness, the Vaishnava philosophy, it basically encourages the human being to indulge themselves to knowing God, who is God, what is his activity, how he looks like, and what is our roles and responsibility towards the Supreme Personality Godhead. And that is basically the bhakti. And the whole movement of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically to know God and how do we engage ourselves into the service of the Lord. And that has been also the effort of Prabhupada to propagate the bhakti movement all over the world, so that the human being understand about the Lord and get them engaged themselves into the devotional service. And why get them involved into devotional service? Because unless until we perform the bhakti, okay, we will still be entangled into this cycle of birth and death. Because that's the only one, we can say, the exit route from this cycle of birth and death. There is no other way. So with that, I will close this my discussion. Yeah. Anybody comment, Prabhuji? Anybody has any comments? Please feel free to share.
Just one point. You mentioned that for some people, Mayavad looks very attractive.
Yeah.
I just experienced an interfaith. Mayavad looks like very liberal understanding, because there is one divine reality, and it's just manifests in different forms. All the forms are okay. At the end, everything is one.
Yeah.
It looks very nice.
Yeah.
It's like you're okay, I'm okay, everyone's okay.
You are God, I am God, everybody is God.
But then, assuming Krishna consciousness, we have a tasty understanding. First of all, we say no, actually there is a personal God, and that personal God is Krishna. And then people feel like this is very sectarian. You say only Krishna, but actually we are more liberal. We also like Shiva. We also like Buddha. There's on the same line. No, Krishna is top. They're on down line. So people say, well, this is not nice. This is sectarian.
Yeah.
So it's interesting how.
Absolutely. Look, by nature, and it's a very, very important point. Thank you, Prabhu, for speaking that. By nature, we all try to find the easy route. Okay? The easiest route to achieve some material benefit. Okay? And there where the word liberal is always about, okay, you can also do, I can also do, he can also do, everybody can do. How does it matter? But when you really want to achieve something, to achieve a higher goal, there must be an effort. To get an effort, you must know what it is. We cannot be simply engage ourselves in shunya. The whole Maya Pradip is the shunya, that Brahmajyoti, and it's all ends there. It's shunyavad. Okay? But if you meditate on zero, okay, you get zero. If you meditate on God, okay, you get God. It's not very difficult to understand. It's science. If you sow mango tree, you put a mango seed, okay, you put water, it grows into a mango tree, not any other tree. It's pure science. Krishna consciousness is pure science. If you think about God, if you serve about God, if you love God, and the best way to love anybody is what? Radharani Maharaj says that going into detail is sign of love. So if you have love towards God, you would like to know about God. How God looks like, what is his activity, what he does. Without that, there is no way forward. We still be circling in this cycle of birth and death. Yes, Prabhu, you wanted to say something?
It's a bit connected to Krishna the single points and what is impersonal, what it is in us mainly, and it's actually also because actually if you think everything is impersonal around us, only the soul, but actually everything else is impersonal, and it's easy to believe when we are like full of impersonal inputs. It's not difficult to believe impersonalism, and actually that's what's also attractive. It's difficult to go in some personal understanding. So that's why.
Yeah, I mean, when we consider impersonal, okay, it's basically negating everything. Yeah, um, and when, the moment you consider it as a part and parcel of Lord, right? It directs you towards knowing that particular activity. So, for example, I mean, it also came in the discussion also, that people say that if God is everywhere, okay, why you need to go to temple? That's a very, very general statement, especially in India, you will hear. भगवान सब जगह है, मंदिर में क्यों जाना? I mean, you can learn science on the road also. There is a sun, there is a heat is going, but why do we go to university? There is no need, right? You can go and learn anything everywhere. And if God is everywhere, He is also in the temple. But the moment you start, then the discussion goes in a very different direction. Okay, and in my discussions, what I have found with the friends and all, that more you discuss about God, they say, oh, you are going in a fanatic direction. Yeah? Okay, why you need to think about God so much? I mean, He is the controller. Whom do I think about? So thank you very much for joining this morning, and Hare Krishna, have a very nice day. Hare Bol.
said Prabhu is coming to my life.
We got in touch. Following a couple of months, they were waiting with applications and conversation. To do some mediation.
This couple is also very nice couple, Shivam Gopal.
You know them from Singapore?
Yeah, I mean, I know them before they are married.
Yes, I see them.
Very nice, very enthusiastic.
They want to know what
Yes. He helped Dilkin in their life. They set up the website, the society, this program. They did a lot of the city preaching.
yeah, he spoke very fast. So,
He has a lot of energy. There are very few people who can match this guy's energy in terms of I heard when I heard, I was very happy that they are in touch with him.
that's significant.
How has it helped you? But you have gained a weight since I saw you in 2014.
Yeah.
Because the temperature was also not.
It's 12 years since it's
Yes. It looks like a steady. For us it is temple and home, and I also go to office. And the office has not been very intense, so that I could save ahead. So that way I am happy.
Okay.
Without temple it was not possible to stay there. It's very a negative place. You will go into depression. But because the temple is there, then it will be I forgot the religion, but I also, it's my personal view that many devotees have taken a lot of pain to fulfill Prabhupada's mission. So many unknown,
So many heroes in the past and we wasted so much service.
so much service, and without any Krishna consciousness is something. You bring everything you want, and there is no way to appreciate also. So many devotees who have spent how many times we remember them. They are at least we remember every 45, 50 years on the sun. Not every temple does that. Something we should really be thankful. At least I am thankful that when I came there was a temple. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'll just wait for Damodar to come at 12
Ah,
and we'll meet with him. So, okay. Thank you, Prabhu. You will here for some time? Or you are?
I'm going to India.
Okay.
I mean, like, I was in India, but now I will be here, but I'm just going Mexico. Then I will be here 2 weeks, then I will do 2 weeks,
Okay.
then I will be here to Germany again.
It's a lot of happening. You should take care of your health. Wonderful. complete.
начальник снабжения и
Начальник чистоты здесь главное.
Харе Кришна. Начальник чистоты.
Там мокро. Или тут сухо, да?
Ну там везде сухо, там уже все.
Не, там мокро.
А вот я там проходил недавно, а